here someday, that's when it's most useful. You can go watch it from home and easily catch up. So, objectives of today. Going to hopefully get to know me just a little bit. We'll get to know each other much better over the semester. I'm going to talk through expectations. Today is really about, it's not about, it's sort of more about generally how to do the class. Tomorrow we're going to get into a lot of details. We're going to get you into the Google Classroom. We're going to get you into the lab environment. We're going to work through all those things. But today, it really, this class has a slow start. I apologize. The first 2 days are going to be a little bit slow for you guys. But the stuff that I'm telling you is important, and that's why I'm spending time on it, because your approach to this class can make a massive difference to what you get out of it and how much you enjoy it, to be honest. So I'm going to give you my expectations, and hopefully you will adopt them. And we have some classroom rules and rule violation consequences that I want to go over, and those are important. This is actually the largest Intro to Programming class that I've had so far. There's 15 of you guys, plus we have Juliet. Say hi to Juliet. Juliet is our instructional assistant. She aced this class in the past. She's going to take AP Comp Sci in the future. Because there's so many of you, we spend more time in this class in working on programs and doing labs than we do with lectures. And so while we're doing that, you often will have lots of questions. And so Juliet will be able to help with questions. I will be able to help with questions. And to be honest, you guys need to help each other with questions, because a lot of times some of you will understand something and some of you won't. So you need to help each other. But in a class this size, it's even more important that we work together to focus on the material. Otherwise, it'll be more difficult for all of you. Okay, so expectations. We're going to talk about entering the classroom. I'll introduce myself a little bit. I'm going to go over a whole bunch of things, expectation concepts, and some rules. Okay, when you enter this classroom, there's almost always going to be some sort of bell work up here. And, you know, why do we have bell work? You know, when I first started teaching, it's a big thing at Liberty to have bell work. And I always thought, you know, why do you have bell work? I'll tell you, there's a couple reasons that we have bell work. Number one, you guys somehow have to transition from hallroom state to classroom state. And that can waste a lot of classroom time if you don't have something to do right when you get in. So one of the purposes of bell work is to help you transition and start thinking about, get your brain going on what this class is doing. But another purpose of bell work is that there's often something useful associated with to do, think about, or review. In my class, a lot of times the bell work is going to be look at the homework that you just submitted, because you have to submit the homework before class. It's auto-graded. I push a button, and when you come into class the day that it's due, you immediately get your graded homework. So I want you to look at that, find out what you did wrong, and be prepared to ask questions. So you get immediate feedback. We can immediately go over the things that you're confused about, and that's something that we'll be doing often. So when you come in, I would like you to lower your voice. What I mean by that is not hall level. It's loud out there. I want you to lower your voice to classroom level, and quickly sit down and begin on the bell work. That helps us get going. And by the way, it's really important that you do use that time to see what you did wrong so that you're prepared to ask questions, because we can get that fixed immediately. It's beneficial for you. Okay. Hi, my name is Mr. McCormick. I should have said that at the beginning. Did anybody not know my name? Who didn't know my name was Mr. McCormick? Anybody? All right, so no new news there. My name is Mr. McCormick. My wife, Mrs. McCormick, also works at Liberty. She's been in the office for many years, but this year she moved and she works in AST, in the academic sport team. My son Elliot and my daughter Grace are both alumni of this school. They graduated, well, I don't remember which years. Grace is a senior at Texas A&M, and Elliot graduated from college a few years ago. And I've been teaching here this is my third year. Education, I have a master's degree in computer engineering from the University of Illinois, and I worked for 24 years for Hewlett-Packard and Intel in town here doing chip design, mostly computer processors. I'm going to show you one right here. This is one that I worked on. This is an actual chip. This is the an actual chip here. This is a photograph of what this looks like. This is a large, expensive server CPU. I worked on lots of CPUs and other kinds of chips over my 24 years. And so that's hardware. By the way, computer engineering is hardware design. You're like, so why are you teaching a software class? Well, a big part of hardware design is also software design. Turns out you need to program to make computer chips. Also, I took lots and lots of, I have a lot of programming background and took lots of programming classes as well. So I've been doing programming for years. But that's chip. It was mostly for the purposes of chip design. Teaching experience, I already said I've been here 3 years. I teach this class, Intro to Programming. You don't have to know anything about programming. You come in this class knowing nothing about programming. By the end of the semester, if you diligently work your brain, you will be impressed with what you can do, and it should be fun for you. I also teach AP Computer Science, which is a college-level programming course. And if you get a good grade in this class and you like it, you will be totally prepared to take AP Computer Science if and when you want to. Interests, I like lots of things. I enjoy computers, and I work with computers in my brain all day, every day. So when I'm not working, I tend to do non-brain computer things. I really like outdoor stuff. I like working in my yard. I like anything outdoor: hiking, biking, skiing, fishing, camping. I like sports. So when I'm not, it's actually really good, by the way. You guys all work hard with your brains all day long. It's good to have something that is non-brain work, like a sport or doing something outside. It's good balance to all the brain work that you guys do today. So I hope you guys will do sports and outdoor stuff to rest your brains when you get a chance. Okay, now for the fun part. Let's guess if you know. Some of you know because I've had you in a previous class or in study hall or something. So if you know, don't say it. But if you don't know, I want you to guess. Oh my goodness, I'm not showing my slides because I have this frozen. I will do this. There we go. I've been walking through slides and not showing them to you as I talk. These slides are always posted in Google Classroom, and so are the videos. But as Juliet will tell you, I frequently forget to unfreeze the slide. So in the future, if I'm ever stuck on that first slide, somebody tell me to unfreeze the slide. Appreciate it. Okay, 2 artificial body parts. Time to guess. I'm going to make you guess a lot in this class. I'm going to give you code, and I'm going to make you guess what it does, even before I tell you, because it engages your brain, helps you think about it. So let's practice guessing. Who wants to make a guess at one of my artificial body parts? Be brave. Yes? Knee. That's a great guess. Many people have their knees replaced. And I do have trouble with my knees, and I worry that someday I may have them replaced, but no. That's a great guess. Somebody else. This is not about getting it right. This is just about throwing out guesses. Come on. Have fun with me. Caleb, guess something.
Maybe
One of my teeth.
Gold or something.
That's a great guess. I do have a cap, a crown, but the inside of the tooth's still there, so I'm not going to count that. Anybody? Anybody else? What kinds of parts do people get replaced? Not my brain. Yeah.
Ear.
An ear. Wow, that would be cool. No. That would be cool. An ear prosthetic. Are you saying that my ears look fake? Is that what you're saying? Anybody else? Huh? Come on. Come on, Kylie. Give me something.
My toe.
My toe. No. Andrew, do you remember? I probably told you guys.
Well, the only thing I remember from my second was Jackson throwing up and Connor telling us about International Hippo Day.
Oh, Jackson's in my other class. I forgot that Jackson. Yeah, that was a great day. Okay, I'll tell you. I have an artificial lens in this eye. you guys might notice me putting these on and off. These are reading glasses, and there's actually no lens right here. This eye's just fine. This eye has a fixed focal length at a distance, and so if I want to look at something close, I put this on, so I'm constantly doing this. I could buy like a custom pair that has regular glass in here, but instead I buy this cheap $10 pair and I pop out the lens. So I have like 4 of them. Okay, the other thing is I broke my collarbone mountain biking, so I have a metal plate in there holding it to it, and it cost a ridiculous amount of money. Okay, that's my 2 artificial body parts. Aren't you? If you want to hear a ghost story someday, I'll tell you my eye surgery story. I had a giant retinal tear, had to have surgery on my eye. It was horrible, but they did a good job, and my eye works pretty well today. Okay, let's talk about expectations. Mindset is so important in this class. I've already touched on this, like trying to get you to say, I'm going to use my brain. I'm going to use my brain. If you focus on just trying to get it done, it's going to be so much harder and not as fun a class. So, mindset. I would like you to enthusiastically and courageously. Why enthusiastically? Because I want you to sort of, work hard at it and be passionate about it and enjoy what you're doing. Courageously, it's going to take courage. You saw it here, even in a class this size. A lot of you are reluctant to even, maybe because you don't really care, but maybe you're just reluctant. You don't want to hold up your hand and guess some random body part. But we're going to have lots of back and forth engagement in this. I'm going to cold call people all the time. At first, you're going to be nervous about that, and afterwards, you won't care at all because we're going to go back and forth on all kinds of stuff. But I want you to be courageous at not being afraid to make mistakes. It's a fundamental part of programming and fundamental part of learning to make mistakes. So be courageous to try something, not get it right. Be courageous to ask a question when you don't know the answer. And diligently. Anybody want to tell me what the word diligent means? You Liberty students who know all kinds of vocabulary words, come on. Nobody really knows? Yes, and I want to call out your name because I'm learning names, and you are, I remember based on position when I first memorized. You're Liam. Yes, Liam. Thanks for raising your hand.
Is it like,
Yeah, well, it's kind of like, sort of like consistently, like we're going to do a lot of time, more time in this class working on programming than listening to my lectures. And so diligently working on your program would be that you're spending most of that time focused on the task at hand, programming. So you're diligent about it. You're continuously working on it, and you're not screwing around. So diligently engage the subject matter, and this is the most important part of this bullet, actually, with the goal of understanding. I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell you over and over again. Most of you, a big chunk of you are not going to believe me for a while, and hopefully, that's pretty good timing. Hopefully, the sooner you believe this, the better this class is going to be for you. Here's the thing that you got to believe. There is no spoon. Sorry, I just watched The Matrix the other night. The thing that you must realize is that there is no spoon. Anybody? Anybody watch The Matrix? No? No one's watched The Matrix? You've watched The Matrix? Liam, you're just all over this today. It is an R-rated movie because there's a lot of cursing in it. But if your parents allow you, it's not a bad movie in any other ways. If your parents ever allow you to get the opportunity, watch The Matrix. It's a fantastic movie. Anyway, and then you'll understand that why. Sorry, I digress. Okay, the thing that I wanted to tell you, and the thing that you must understand is that this class is easier if you work on understanding than just getting your work done. It's twice as easy if you work, instead of trying to just get the worksheet done, just get the problem passing in the lab. Like that, so many people get caught up in that. I just want to get it done. I just want to get it done. And thinking about how do I get it done instead of thinking about do I really understand this? If you work on thinking about do I really understand this, this class will be half of the difficulty of if you just try to get it done. It's going to take you twice as much effort, twice as hard if you're just trying to get it done. By the way, this class, although I'm telling you, it's okay. Why do students not want to do that? It's harder on your brain. It's a little harder on your brain to think about understanding than to just try to crank it out. But this class, if you use your brain and you're diligent and you work on understanding, there won't be a ton of take-home work. You'll be able to get most of the work done in this class, If you don't be diligent or use your brain, there can be quite a bit of work that you take home. It's that big of a difference. You will also enjoy it better if you work on understanding. I'm going to try to repeat this because I know it's really easy to get caught up in just get it done, just get it done, just get it done. But you're learning a new language and a new way of thinking, and all the pieces build upon one another. And when you understand that, they all go together, and it's not just a set of random facts to memorize. Like, you understand it. And anyway, so please work on with the goal of understanding. Number 2, respect each other. This is human decency. It also makes the classroom work better, so respect me, respect each other, maintain integrity, do your own work. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Those of you with junior high here should be very familiar with this definition. Integrity is the only difference between right and wrong, and having the courage to do what is right, even when it's not easy to do so. There's no point in, I don't really care what grade you get in this class. What I care is that you understand it. And after you get through the application process in college, no one will ever care about your high school grades again. After you get out of college and you get your first job, no one will care about your college grades again. What matters after you get through those doors is how much you know, how much you've learned. So in here, there's really no point in taking this course and then finding some way to not do the work. If you're going to do that, just take a study hall. It'll be way more beneficial to you. The only reason to be in here is to learn. And so you have to do work to learn. Okay, a culture of errors. I've referenced this already. So the point of education is to grow our understanding, and you can't do that without making errors. That's true in all areas of growing your understanding. It's especially true in programming. In programming, in this class, you will spend more time finding and fixing your errors than you will writing code. It's not just you. Professional software development in the industry spends more time finding and fixing errors than actually writing code. It's just a natural part of the process. And so don't be afraid to make errors. Same with class and asking questions and stuff, getting things wrong when I ask you questions. The whole point about errors is to develop your understanding. You know, in the industry, what I learned over time, I was eventually a pretty senior engineer, is that the senior engineers were way less worried about asking stupid questions than the junior engineers. The junior engineers were like, I don't know the answer to this, so I'm not going to ask it because I don't want anybody to know how to answer. The senior engineers were like, well, I don't know the answer to this. I wonder if they know the answer to this. And you ask the stupid question, you find out nobody in the room knows the answer to it. And so fearlessly being willing to ask stupid questions, I guarantee you, if you have a question about something in this class, you don't understand something, very likely that there are other people, maybe a lot of other people in the room that don't understand. So don't be afraid. Asking a question, asking even a dumb question, is not actually a sign of being a junior student. It's a sign of being a senior student. It's a sign of being someone who is actually more advanced in their education process. Okay, so we can't go without errors. You're going to make errors in programming. You're going to make errors in the class. I'm going to make errors teaching all the time. Feel free to point them out because I don't want to confuse you. So I'll make errors. So those who learn will benefit the most are those who have the courage to risk errors. It's not unlike learning a new language, by the way. You are learning a new language here. It's not a human language. It's very different than the languages that you've learned. But one of the reasons little kids learn languages faster than adults is because they are fearless. They babble, they make mistakes, they're not afraid, they just try. And that mindset will really help you in here. Those who work to identify and reveal the misunderstanding. So not being afraid to try is one of the things that benefits you, but also then making the mistake and realizing it's a mistake and figuring out what you don't understand and fixing it is a huge part of the error of the benefit of making errors, and then correcting those errors and misunderstanding. Okay, so it's my expectation that we're all going to be in favor of making errors. Like, it's not going to be like, Josiah didn't know the answer. We're all going to make errors together. It's going to be considered a good thing, and we'll fix them. Okay, so I am going to ask you questions to help measure understanding. I have to try to figure out what you don't understand, what you get confused by as I teach. And as part of this, I will cold call a lot in this classroom. And that may make some of you nervous at first, but you're going to get over it really quickly because there's going to be a lot of back and forth. We're all going to be interacting. Everybody's going to be participating all the time. Don't be, but it does mean, you sort of need to pay attention because it is a little embarrassing when I call on you and you're not paying any attention. And you're not looking at something on your screen there, right? Okay, you're just playing around with that mouse for no reason. All right, that's good. If I cold call on you, just work on, what if you don't know the answer, right? Do your best to answer the question and help me understand what you're confused by. The point is not to put you on the spot, actually. It's to help me understand who doesn't understand what or what you don't understand so I can help you understand it. It's not, cold calling is not a test in this classroom. It's to help me help you. Okay, good news. You get to cold call me anytime you want. You ever think about that? Every time you ask a teacher a question, you're cold calling on that teacher. So you get to cold call me all the time. Okay, communicating with the instructor. When to communicate, how to communicate. If you have any sort of constructive feedback, hey, that's not making sense to me. Hey, you messed this lab problem up. Whatever. I want to hear it. I expect you guys to be willing to take constructive feedback. I am totally willing to take constructive feedback as well. So anything anything constructive you have that could make the class better, I do want to hear it. If you have any sort of question, concerns, problems, confusions, requests, anything, just bring it to me. How? Face-to-face is great. During class, 9th period, schedule time. You can certainly send me an email as well. Sometimes it's easier, you have a question or something and you're at home or whatever, send me an email. I will respond when I can. Sometimes I respond quickly, sometimes not, depending on what's going on. So anyway, just come talk to me in 9th period. I can also schedule times to help out if you guys need some help or something. Okay, how not to communicate. Something's going wrong in this class and you don't ever come talk to me about it and you have your parents call me. You know what I'm going to tell them? They haven't talked to me about that. Why don't you send your student back to talk to me and we'll try to work it out. If for some reason we have some problem when we're talking to me and we can't get it worked out and then you want to go bring in your parents, go right ahead. But come to me first. Okay, expectations during lecture discussion. Again, this is a large class, and we need to work together to make sure our lecture discussions work well. We want to get the most out of it that we can and not waste time, so that you guys have more time. Oh, that's perfect. Is that good? So that you guys have more time to work on your labs and do your homework and that kind of stuff. So during lecture, I made this silly acronym because I was trying to come up. I had a bunch of letters with a bunch of words, and I tried to put them together that said something, and I came up with the word member. So we're going to be 100% membership in this class. Okay, the first M is mouth. What do I want you to do with your mouth? Anybody want to guess what I want you to do with your mouth during lectures? Yes, Josiah.
Keep it silent.
Keep it silent. Okay, don't talk while someone else is talking. Not just me. We're going to have students talking in the class too. So when someone else is talking, let them talk, right? Also, do talk, right? Ask your questions courageously and with much excellence as you're able. So do raise your hand during the lecture. Do ask a question. So don't talk when someone else is talking. Do talk constructively during the lecture with questions and responses and such. Okay, eyes. Hudson's eyes were right in the right place. What do you think I should do with your eyes during the lecture?
Like, track the speaker while he's talking.
track the speaker, me or someone else, or look at the slides, or maybe if you're taking some notes, you can be writing on a piece of paper or something. But use your eyes to engage. It actually helps you to stay engaged. It helps us all to stay engaged. Use your eyes. And don't have any applications open on your computer unless I have said so. Your mind, I've already talked about this one already. It's not just during the labs that you're going to have to work with your brain. It's during lectures. Work to understand and identify what you don't understand. I actually explain everything that you need to understand during the lectures. And sometimes students zone out and they miss it. It makes your life harder if you don't engage with the lecture. If you put a little work in with the lecture, then the work on your labs and your worksheets will go much smoother. But I understand it takes effort to engage your brain during the lecture. I'll try to keep it interactive so you can be engaged, but do use your mind to understand what's going on. Your body, let's call on, I'm going to try to remember a name. I'm going to call on Jacob. Jacob, what do you think you should do with your body during lecture? Okay, so yeah, let's not like spin in our chairs or grab the person next to us or sit here and go. I've had students do that. It's really annoying. But with your body, do sit up. Sit up and don't slouch. During your programming, slouch all you want. I'm a sloucher, I get it. But sitting up straight and using your eyes and stuff helps you engage in the lecture. So do sit up during lecture. Stay in your seat unless you need to get Kleenex. Ears, obviously, actively listen to maximize your understanding of what's being understood. Now I managed to make a word, member. Raise your hand if you got any questions. By the way, if I don't see you, feel free to call out, Mr. McCormick, I got a question. Feel free. I don't want to miss your question. Okay. That's it. That's expectations during lecture. Any questions on that? By the way, I know this class today is slow, and I hate to tell you, but tomorrow's class is going to be a little bit slow as well, and then we're going to really pick up. There's a lot of these concepts that are boring. Some of them are, that I'm getting at the beginning here, some of them are boring, some of them are old hat to you, some of them are not. It's important enough for me to have a slow start to the class. Okay, behavior during work times. You should only work on this class on material associated with this class, and you should only open things on the computer associated with this class. You have to ask and receive permission. Mostly I'm not going to give permission to do something else, but there might be a time, if you have a really good reason, I might give you permission to do something else. Notice I monitor your screens all times. I'm displaying them. I'm not actually looking at it right now because you guys aren't logged in. I guess I could find out if any of you guys are logged in. One of you is logged in but has nothing on his screen. Hi, Caleb. I can see your screens all the time, just FYI. Talking and working together. So during work times, you should be working in your assigned seat at your computer. That does not mean that you can't get up when we're doing labs and go to other people's computers and ask questions and ask help. You absolutely can, and I very much encourage you to do so. The reason that I insist, I used to let people, the first semester I taught this, sit in where they want, and a bunch of groups would sit right next to each other. And what I found is that 20% of the students just freeloaded off the other students and did what they were doing. And it took me about the third way through the class to realize that they were completely lost. And by making you do the work at your own computer, you won't be able to we'll discover sooner if you're completely lost, and we'll fix it. But you can certainly look over each other's shoulders, and I hope that you will help each other. You can leave your seat to ask questions, provide help. Yep. Keep the volume down during work time so that we can understand, that we can do work, and leaving the classroom. It's funny. What time is this class over? This class is over at 50. Okay. You know what's funny? Is that I was really in a real rush here for a minute because last semester my last intro to programming class was 8th period, and so it ended at 45. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm running out of time. I'm really too slow. This class ends later. We have plenty of time. Okay. Leaving the classroom. So you're typically not allowed to do this during the lecture or right before the lecture, because I don't want you to miss the lecture. I don't want to hold up the lecture. But when we're not having a lecture during work time, I have a pass. It's hanging right here. You have to come up and ask to use it. And I would like you to say, can I use the pass to go to the bathroom? Can I take the pass to go to my locker? I want you to say what it is you're doing with the pass, and I want you to do that. If you say what you're doing and do what you're saying, then you will have free use of the pass. If you abuse my pass, then you won't. All right, so that's the pass, getting up and leaving the classroom. All right, so that's work times. Behavior during quizzes and tests. Most of this is obvious. No talking, keep your eyes on your own work. We're going to do all of our worksheets, our quizzes, our tests, our labs, all on the computers. So when we're doing a test or quiz, you can't have anything open on your computer except the quiz or test that we're taking. And then some of the tests have vocabulary word banks, and students like to keep track of which ones they've already used in their answers. So I will let you, if you want to, have a blank Google Doc open where you can keep track of what words you've used. Nothing else open on your screen, and those things should be fully open on your screen. I'll remind you of these things when we get around to our first quiz or test. Okay, academic integrity. Let's talk about this a little bit. I already said this before. Academic integrity is really for your benefit. If you don't, the whole point here is to develop your brain and develop your skills in programming. And if you don't want to do that, then go quick, get out of my class and take another class or a study hall, because there's really no point in being in here. If you do want to do that, then there's really no point in not doing the work. Students get confused so often about the little letter grade that we, write on a piece of paper or put it in PowerSchool. I'm not saying that those grades don't matter at all. They matter in the sense that they reflect what you've learned, and they matter like to get in college. But they only matter to the extent that they're a reflection of what you've learned. By the way, if you could somehow manage to cheat your way through high school and get straight A's and get into Harvard, you would have done nothing good for yourself. In fact, you would have greatly harmed yourself, because you're not going to have to learn anything. You're going to really struggle at Harvard. If you manage to cheat your way through Harvard and get really good grades, and somehow it'll never happen. But imagine that you could somehow pass an interview and get a good job, and you get to that job, and you're going to do horrible if you don't know what you're doing, and you're going to get fired. So the grade, they only matter with respect to what you know. So the whole point of academic integrity, not only at one point, is to just have integrity. By the way, integrity matters in the real world more than most things. But even for your own selfish benefit, the only thing that matters is what you're learning here. So do the work. Assessments and tests and quiz. The general principle on these is that your knowledge and skills are what's being assessed, and that's the only thing you should be using. You shouldn't be using somebody else's knowledge and skills. You shouldn't be using anything else. Labs and assignments. General principle, do your own work. That doesn't mean that you can't help each other out. When you help each other understand. Don't just tell somebody what to do. Right? You can help each other out. So here's specific rules. And I go through this in detail because guess what? Every semester, almost every semester, at least one of you thinks that you can get away with not writing your own lab, getting it from someone else, getting it from ChatGPT or some other code generator. And when it happens tends to happen later in the semester when things get a little harder, when students are stressed and they forget that the whole point is learning, and they just want to get it done, and they want a good grade that doesn't reflect what they've learned. Anyway, I give you all these rules because you won't be able to say I didn't tell you. So do not provide or receive aid from any other person or from any other authorized resources on tests or quizzes, labs and assignments. Do not attempt to use an AI code generator to help with your labs. Do not paste any code into your lab's exception. If I give you the code, like if it's in the slides or I give it to you in the lab, or if you've written it in some previous lab in this class, you can copy and paste. Other than that, you shouldn't be copy and pasting any code into your lab. Do not make any of your lab solutions available to anyone. I don't mean that you can't look over each other's shoulder and try to figure something out together. What I mean is you shouldn't provide your files to someone. They're going to copy it, and you're both going to get in trouble. So you can look and help each other out. Do not do someone else's work for them. Act like a teacher when you're helping someone. Help them understand. That's actually the best thing for them. Okay, do answer each other's questions and provide assistance that helps others learn. Okay, just one, again, mostly this should be obvious, but I just want you to understand in detail what the rules are. Any questions on that? Okay, these, just saying it to be said, all the normal rules apply. Attendance, academic integrity, use of electronic devices, including phones, dress code, no chewing gum, no food or drink in here other than water. These are school-wide rules. You should know them, and they all apply, and the consequences are the same. You get violations. You guys know the drill on this. They all apply in here. Okay, some specific classroom rules. Treat the instructor, including substitutes, and each other with respect. By the way, if I ever have a sub, I always ask about how the class was. I often get feedback, often unsolicited, from students about how the class went. If you do not treat my substitute with respect, there will be consequences in this class. You should be treating everyone with respect, the substitute, instructor, and each other. Okay, you should behave in a way that lets the teacher teach and the students learn. Specifically, let's not, especially in a class this size, let's not distract the class on to other things. I'm not saying that, during work time you can't ever, say something unclass related to the people next to you. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying use your brains. Let's work together so that I can teach and you guys can learn. There should be nothing open on your computers during lectures unless I tell you otherwise. Do not open in this class anything on your computers unless it's associated with this class or I've given you explicit permission to do so. Consequences for violating these rules. So I have this strike system. Learned it from Mrs. Salazar. Anyway, if you're violating these rules, I can give you a strike, and I'll just tell you verbally. They accumulate for the whole semester. Once you get 3, you have a detention with me that day after 9th period in here, and you have to go call your parents and tell them and rearrange your ride and all that, and they're not happy, you're not happy, nobody's happy. Hopefully we won't get there, but if I need to give out strikes, I will. Okay. And if that happens, you have to adjust your school transportation. Okay. Oh, we made it through, and I hurried so fast that we've got, what's it? Let's see, it ends at, why am I struggling? It's beginning of semester. It ends at 56. What are we at? Period 7. Oh, it ends at, wrong class here. 56, yes, okay. Whew. Apparently a long break. Okay, we're going to go around the room. A lot of you probably know each other, but just in case, let's get some names. Everybody's going to say their name, their grade, how many years you've been coming to Liberty, and why did you roll in class? This is my favorite question. It's really interesting. We'll start here with, it's like Jaren?
Yeah.
All right, Jaren. I shouldn't have said your name. Okay, Jaren, tell us these things.
Okay. My name is Jaren. I'm in 8th grade. I've been to Liberty for 5 years, and I enrolled in this class because I thought it would be a fun thing to do instead of a night out.
Yay. It was amazing how many people in the last period were like, oh, I don't know how I got in this class. My parents wanted me to enroll in this class. So I'm glad that the first person here wants to be here. Yes, what's you?
I'm Jacob. I'm in 8th grade. I'm coming for 5 years, and I didn't feel like taking a study hall, so I'll take this instead.
It's better than a study hall, yeah.
I'm Andrew. I'm in 9th grade. I've been living 5 years, and I came to class because I wanted to.
Cool.
My name is Levi, and I'm in 8th grade. I've been coming to Liberty since kindergarten, and my sister was in this class, and it was fun. So.
Oh yeah? What's your sister's name?
Johanna.
Johanna, okay.
I'm Liam.
I'm a freshman. I've been to Liberty for 4 years. This is my fifth. And I don't know why I'm just kind of sounded fun.
All right, great.
My name is Amelia. I'm in 10th grade. I've been coming here since kindergarten, and I don't know why
All right, well, we'll have to get the rest of you guys' names another day. Thanks for coming. We will have a lot of fun in here. I hope none of you decide to drop. Have a good one.